Hey, Kevin here. So I just spent $2,847 on YouTube AI tools this year, so you don't have to. And yes, I am the AppSumo junkie who impulse buys at 2:34 a.m. And I tested a ridiculous amount of AI tools for YouTube. Most of them though have been shiny distractions that overpromise and clutter your workflow, but the ones I'm sharing today are the exact tools running my channel today. They help me publish almost 3 videos a week across different channels without burning out. One literally writes better titles than I do. Another helps me find 10x outlier view videos in under a minute. And there's this AI script writing tool that cut my writing time by 73%. In this video, I'll walk you through the exact tools I use for YouTube research, packaging, scripting, and editing. So if you're just tired on wasting money on AI tools that don't deliver, or you just want to speed up your YouTube workflow, stick around. I'm breaking down my entire stack. By the way, I have affiliate links in the description below. Any links that you use help me pay for the software, my YouTube team, and my quest to finally move out of my mom's basement. Links are in the description below. So let's dive in. Step 1, research. Okay, this is where most creators fail before they even get started. Here's what most people get wrong. They start shooting their video first with no idea what the title or the packaging or the video idea should be in the first place. You can have the best editing skills in the world, but if you're making videos that no one wants to watch, you're kind of screwed. So here's exactly how I find the ideas that actually get views. The first tool, Creator Hooks Pro. So this is actually one of the go-to tools I look at every single week. Jake, the owner of Creator Hook Pro, he actually sends an email newsletter with a breakdown of the top performing titles across YouTube. And what he does, he actually turns these into formulas so that you can use it across your channel. What I like about the titles that he provides, they're timeless, they're proven titles. But what I most love about Creator Hook Pro is that they actually give a hook score and then extract formulas from the outliers. They even have a title generator which you can use, but it feels like you have kind of cheat sheet for what works. Oftentimes I'll get ideas on what the video should be, but knowing which titles are working is only half the battle. So we need to know what's actually working visually. This is where 1 of 10 Finder comes in. So back in the day, I used to scroll through thousands of thumbnails just to see what caught my eye. This used to take so much time, and I'll be honest, not all the thumbnails on 1 of 10 are that great. I would say probably about 60 to 80% of trash, but the ones that stop me from scrolling, those actually teach me something, and I'm able to take elements of that thumbnail and apply it to mine. What I really like is that this tool actually shows you the most recent outliers. So it's not like 3 years ago or whatnot. It's actually what's happened in the last month, in the last 2 weeks, and you're not studying dead trends anymore. They also have this really new feature that generates thumbnails and titles based on the outliers that you like. I actually have a video coming out on this relatively soon. And I just love 1 of 10 Finder's Chrome extension, which actually shows you how your thumbnail and title will look like on the Explorer page. Literally, you just click the button, upload your thumbnail, and it'll just paste it on. And so you can see how it looks like compared to other thumbnails too. And that is free, but we'll talk more about this later. The next thing I use for research is actually something called Subscriber AI. Subscriber AI, this is a relatively new tool I'm using, but this is where things get kind of interesting because it doesn't only just give me ideas, it actually studies my channel voice, analyzes similar YouTube channels, and deep dives into what's actually working in the top performing videos. So let's say you watch this really great Mr. Beast video or really great Vanessa Lau video. Let's take education. We can actually plug it in Subscriber AI and it'll give you kind of the reasoning of why this video is actually working. I thought that was really interesting. And then there's one last tool that I use for research. It's called Spotter Studio. I'll be honest, out of all the research tools I use, this one is probably the one I use the least. But one thing I do like about Spotter Studio is that they have an outlier feature that shows me which videos are performing way above a channel's average. And unlike 1 of 10, this kind of shows me more options of outliers that are relevant to my channel that I should be paying attention to. Even though they provide like titles and thumbnails, honestly, I haven't found that super useful, but the recommendations, the specific ideas from my channel that other people are doing, that is pretty good. So now we have some good ideas, but even the good ideas are worthless if we can't package them properly. That leads me into step 2, thumbnail design. Let me tell you the biggest lie in YouTube about thumbnails. They aren't about making them look pretty, it's about psychology. And your thumbnail has one job, make someone stop scrolling and click. But let's be real, some of the most dog designed thumbnails get tons of views. And so it's really about psychology. Anyways, before I design the thumbnail, first I'll grab inspiration from one of TemFinder and Spotter Studio. I'll take screenshots and links of these and dump it into my secret weapon. What is that secret weapon? It's the next app we're going to talk about, Poppy AI. For the last month or two, this has been my go-to AI system. So basically on my Poppy board, I have my ideal avatar. And it's not just some generic persona that you filled out in some guru course about like, oh, where do they live? How old are you? But these are like actually real people who watch my channel, who have had like Zoom conversations and transcribed them and have detailed avatar sheets that they filled out, not just some hypothetical thing. What I'll do is I'll put this on my Poppy board. I'll ask Poppy to be this person, kind of clone the psychology of this person. And I'll go back and forth with my avatar and get feedback on which thumbnail they like best. It's basically a sentiment analysis, but way more natural. A lot of times I'm wondering, well, will this make Vivian, the ABG from OC working at a boba shop who's interested in business, feel more curious or confused? Would they actually click on this video? Or how do I make this more appealing to Vivian? Now, of course, you can actually do this with ChatGPT by dropping a bunch of PDFs, conversations, avatar sheets, or use Google Notebook LM. But there's something about the visual aspect of Poppy and the convenience of just being able to like voice record or yap in the app that makes the process so seamless. So once I create my first few thumbnails, what I'll do is I'll go into one of TemFinder's Chrome extension to just see how my thumbnail looks next to competitors. And then I'll also use something called thumbsup.tv that shows me how exactly my title and thumbnail look like on different devices. We can do this for light mode, dark mode, TV, the works. But I gotta be real, technically thumbsup.tv is an AI, so I needed a 7th tool in this app. Sorry guys. Okay, now that I have the thumbnail, now I need titles that actually convert, which leads me to step 3, title creation. So I have something that might surprise you. I don't ever write original titles. Well, sometimes I do, but they always seem to flop. What I like to do is remix proven formulas. Now, I know some of you might be like, oh, you're just copying. But honestly, I kind of think of myself as like the early Kanye days when he's making beats and doing samples. Working off proven formulas also helps me kind of get the taste, the intuition of what hits and what doesn't. Another analogy might be in BJJ. When you first start jujitsu, you don't make up random moves as a white belt. You study the proven ones and make subtle tweaks, and that's how you learn. And so, like I mentioned earlier, Creator Hook Pro gives me the title formulas that are working right now. What I'll do is I'll keep my favorites in a Notion board, and I'll reference them whenever I need ideas or inspirations or whenever I don't know what to shoot. This is my go-to. Creator Hook Pro even has a generator that generates titles for me. I'm not gonna lie, I rarely use this option, but it's nice knowing that you have that. And then sometimes I'll check Spotter Studio for their title recommendations too. What I'll do is I'll take these title formulas, I'll plug them in ChatGPT, which knows my brand voice, and I'll let it create variations based on my content. My goal, honestly, is to make it clickable, punchy, under 55 characters so it doesn't get like cut off, and to make it at the 5th grade reading level. I'll test out about 3 to 5 variations and pick the one that creates the biggest curiosity gap without being super clickbaity, because no one likes being clickbaited. And then I'll run it through Poppy again for that final avatar check that we talked about earlier. And for me, a great thumbnail and title combo is all about understanding my audience's specific pain points and speaking directly to them. Now, once I have my title and thumbnail locked in, this is where the real work begins. Step 4, scripting. Not gonna lie, back in the day, I used to never plan my videos. I used to riff, or what Gen Z probably calls it, yaps. To be honest, I love yapping because it's easy and frictionless for me, the creator. I get to get all my ideas out there. But the problem is that it's really hard to keep someone's attention for 10+ minutes, especially in a world with like tons of brain rot attention spans, thanks to TikTok. But here's where I discovered something kind of game-changing. I use yapping strategically to capture ideas, and then I have AI kind of build out the rest of the script. One of the biggest things that usually slows down script writing is like this self-editing, like our perfectionism brain being like, oh, this isn't good enough, I should do this instead. When really, when you're trying to write a rough draft, you just need to get your ideas out. So before starting any video, what I'll do is I'll hop on the treadmill, I'll yap into this transcription tool like Letterly or Poppy, just speaking all my ideas and everything I want to say out loud. A lot of times I realize that us creators have great ideas, but we suck at kind of packaging them. So I let AI do that for me. After that's done, I'll take the transcription and I'll feed it into a script writing AI tool. There's two ways I like to do this. The first method is the Poppy AI approach. What I like about Poppy is I can just duplicate a template and I have all the best practices for the hooks, for script writing and all that. What I'll ask Poppy to do is create a hook using proven formulas with the title and thumbnail I've already created. Then I'll reference a best practicing type of thing like Brian Ng's script writing course, and I'll have it write a rough draft. This is usually 80 to 90% there. I'll do a brief overlook and then have it cut out a lot of things because I tend to ramble a lot. Then there's the second method, Subscriber AI. I like Subscriber because it just makes script writing kind of feel effortless. It studies your brand voice and just walks you through the entire process. So basically what I do is I provide a title and it'll give me a menu of hook options or payoff structures and outlines. To be honest, I think the actual script writing is kind of weak, but the hooks are actually super strong, which is one of the most important parts of a video because it sets the expectation of what the video is going to be about, right? The cool thing about like Poppy and Subscriber is that you can actually give a feedback on what you like and what you don't like, and it'll adapt. Now you might be asking, well, can't you do this in ChatGPT or Claude? And you can, but one of the hard parts about using ChatGPT and Claude is that it's harder to give it context and you always have to dump it in. And you can have your own custom GPT, but sometimes it doesn't follow the direction, or sometimes it just takes context from some random ass place that you have no idea where it pulled it from. So once we have a draft, we think we're done, but this is actually where most people fail. They think that AI can completely write your scripts, but it can't, at least not yet. It can give you a really solid foundation, but your voice, your insights, your personality, that's what makes people subscribe. In the world of AI, people pay attention to our taste more than anything. So after I take my rough structure from Subscriber or Poppy, what I'll do is kind of make edits, I'll provide like voice feedback, and then I'll have ChatGPT kind of incorporate my brand voice, because that's one thing that ChatGPT is really good at, just understanding like my brand voice. And the result, scripts that feel natural and follow proven retention principles. But here's the truth, even the best scripts are worthless if your editing doesn't support it. So let's go into step 5, editing and post-production. Here is the truth about editing. Most creators want to hold on to every little thing, including myself. I have a tendency to riff and go off tangent, which is great for in real life conversations, but it's actually horrible for grabbing attention online. So when I shoot my video and send it to my editor, I use AI for something most people never think about, cutting out all the boring parts of my video. I'll take this transcript, feed it to AI. Back in the day, I used to use ChatGPT and Claude, but there was always a weird context window limit that they had. So these days I use Poppy and HappyScribe. So HappyScribe is this transcription service that I've had for many years. What I like about HappyScribe is that it'll break it down by speaker and actually have the timestamps every 5 seconds, which makes it easier for my editor to find those exact moments. What I'll do is drop the PDF into Poppy. I'll attach the best script writing and storytelling practices and ask it to identify every moment where the energy drops, or when I go off onto a random tangent, or when something just doesn't make sense in the video. I'll prioritize feedback in this order, kind of like areas to cut, areas to move, areas to reshoot. Then my editor makes those cuts, and the result, videos that maintain momentum from start to finish. Hopefully this all works for me. So yeah, that's my entire YouTube AI stack. These are 7 core tools that actually save me time in my workflow. If you want individual reviews for each of these, I'll have a playlist below. But here's what I want to know from you. If you watch this, you know I miss tools like for social media and posting all that. So what are tools that you are using that you think I should test next? Or what's a tool that's getting a lot of hype that you want to know about? Let me know in the comments. And if you use the links, thank you for helping me move out of my mom's basement as a 37-year-old. Anyways, here's another video that the YouTube algorithm will think you'll like. Peace, mother people. Bye.